Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Hi everyone, I hope this finds you in good health and secure. Brief announcement. I'm shifting gears a little bit. I don't know. In a way, I'm shifting gears. My focus a little bit. We are going to continue with the next chapter, Chapter 10, Teachers of the Right Dharma Law, which is a juicy chapter. Really starts to talk about what we can expect from our practice. And in line with that, as this is my translation and annotated by me to include Nichiren's perspectives, yes, I'll just show you, I'm working on it, so it's not perfect yet. Not that it ever is. But this is the page on threefoldlotus.com, the core study materials page. And you'll notice some new buttons at the top. I know there's a duplicate there, but that's okay. It's going to change today. But the correct transmission, friends, good and evil, and the next line with correct transmission again. Human relationships, fundamental cause for, again, this relationship with others. Perceiving evil and good. I'm going to keep adding to that top 2 rows with the spirit of what are we confronting? How should we view and understand our relationship to our practice and how to translate that to others? Because if there's one thing that I don't hear it all the time, but it's a question all the time, just admit it. We can all hunker down and practice for ourselves, and there's constant questions we ask ourselves. That's why we study. That's why we do research, yeah? So thank you for coming here to get insights for your own understanding and practice of Shakyamuni's Buddhism, yes? Along with Nichiren's insights and doctrine. But then comes the next step. How the heck do we support others doing this? I mean, if you're the kind of person that likes to help others anyway, the tendency is going to say, look what I've done. And I know when I've run into that problem. And this is what we do in daily life. It's not just Buddhist practice, right? We tend to, it's almost like, and we don't think of it this way, but we lose a lot of friendships over this, is we tend to be like in a one-upsmanship, you know? Oh, you know, I lost my dog last week. Oh, yeah, I remember when I lost my dog, and I had a cat, and it was run over, and my dog died in the same week, and I went through this, and I went... Nobody wants to hear your story when they're sharing something personal with you. This is one of the hardest lessons for human beings, is we turn everything into about us. Especially in this day and age. Selfies, right? I mean, it's super samsara at work. And we don't mean to do that. We want to be compassionate. We want to share somebody else's struggle. We want to inspire them. We want to help them. But we're not. Now, why do I bring this up? Yeah, we all know. We all do that. I'm embarrassed. No. It's fundamental to Bodhisattva work. Because if you don't correct that, as you begin to talk to others about Nichiren, Shakyamuni, Buddhism, chanting. I know when I first started chanting Namo Myoho, and I thought this and I thought that. And, well, that doesn't mean they're thinking that at all. You're giving them brain contusions, trying to understand you instead of assisting them in understanding in whatever path they need to follow and insights they need to make for themselves about this thing called daimoku. Please learn to hold your tongue. Let this, it's like being a good cook. Let this simmer. Let this spices develop. Right? Watch some cooking shows. You'll see the good ones know how to make things come out of the ingredients in a recipe, whereas others just throw everything in a pot. You must, this is an essential skill to develop as a bodhisattva. Learn, and we read it constantly, but it goes right over our heads. Learn to read people. Learn to let people read for themselves. And I'm not talking about the books. I'm talking about read their own minds. This goes back to the early teachings of Buddhism. Not that I'm saying we follow those, but this is what Shakyamuni had to do. He was dealing with people who had no clue about what he'd experienced and what he would show them, so he had to start with little steps. We are extremely fortunate in that we can give them the daimoku and let them struggle with it, and then join in with them and let's do this real slow together, and you'll get it. There's kind of a rhythm to it. You know, let's do it. Just inspire them to aspire for themselves. Inspire them to aspire for themselves. Inspire them so that they can develop their own aspiration for themselves. All your communications should be this way. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus in on this relationship difficulty. And it's only a difficulty because we're not trained. You can do it. We all can do it. In fact, you have done it. Certain moments. It's just not our tendency, especially in Mapo, where everything is immediate gratification. Here, this is what I did. Now you do it. What, you can't do it? What do you insert derogative here? Right? Take a breath. This is wonderful. This is beautiful. You know what? It's so much more exciting when you can sit back, offer something, and then watch somebody develop it on their own. Maybe they get it really quick. How exciting. I have someone to chant with. Maybe they really struggle, and you go, wow, that's kind of telling. These are all the areas in their karma that are being rattled by simply chanting the daimoku. Wow, compassion should well from you. Not laughter, not belittling, not, yeah, I remember when I was such an idiot, I couldn't, blah, blah. Stop. Don't do that. They will take on what you give them. Don't do that to them. Let them struggle with it. Take them through it slowly. Whatever you need to do. Be a parent. Be a parent. Help your child learn how to balance on its feet before it can walk. Let them hold onto your finger while they sort out their balance. Yeah, be a parent to everyone. Not condescending, not disciplinary, the helpful, loving parent. Right? This is a bodhisattva. We all have the capacity, so don't tell me you can't do it. But my point here is you're going to see more links, and they're all going to come in at the top here, having to do with this relationship. And if you have a question about this, somebody asked about nirvana. That's in Buddhism reference, but I could speak a lot more about nirvana and how it's misunderstood. And I think that other correct transmission button will change to what is nirvana. And I'll have a little PDF PowerPoint presentation to offer in a video that will go into it, a more of a deep dive for how do we relate to nirvana as a daily goal, right? Because what we're reading in the Lotus Sutra is how the three lesser vehicles all used a version of nirvana that wasn't complete for decades. And the Lotus Sutra is straightening them out now, finally, and telling them, stop that nonsense. We have to go the full road. But it would be useful to understand, well, what was it they were... Yeah, I understand. No more attachment, detachment, all wonderful words, and you go, okay, but what does that mean? How am I supposed to feel? Right? It's our samsaric existence. So how do we understand nirvana without spending 40 years trying to achieve this elusive whatever it is? How can we understand it a little bit better so that we understand the profundity of what it represents, not trivialize it into, oh, it just means being calm, or being, what's the other word we hear all the time? Equanimous. So I'm going to do a bit of a deep dive into that. Is that or is that not about our relationship with our Bodhisattva? Well, it is, in that all of this is teaching us the minutiae and the conceptual framework of Buddhism. If we get better, more versed at what everything means and how it works, then we become better communicators. Terrific. That's our expedient means, our skillful means and devices that we learn. But there's another step in there that we don't talk about much, and that is how to transfer this knowledge so that others can derive from it for themselves. There's this little communication bridge. It trips us up. And we want that to be a smooth transition so that our assistance is valuable, that it does something for others. That's Buddhist compassion, right? It's more than just sharing, right? It's inspiring others to aspire to Buddhahood, to nirvana, to whatever their next step is. And if it takes them 40 years to learn Gongyo, who cares? The Daimoku is the, per Nichiren, essential practice. Get them chanting. Make that your one and only goal for the first week, the first month, the first year, however long it takes. The questions will come. The opportunity to discuss will come. Remain calm and share for them. Not share your experience, but share your insights so that they too can find insights. And unless they go wrong or astray, you don't need to correct them. Just be amazed at the way different people integrate different things. It's a different way of thinking, but your experience of Buddhism will grow immensely from the effort. All right, enough talk about this. That was a long PSA. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to take so long, but it's an important aspect of our practice, and I want to hear from you. Whether it's an email, TLK Sylvain, Gmail, or a comment, let me know if there's a specific thing that you find, this has always plagued me. I've never been able to get past this. Or when people say this, I don't know what to say. Or whatever it is. Give me some specifics. And I promise you, I will find something, whether it's Nichiren Gosho. I like to use the teachings. Nichiren is our example. He's our exemplar teacher. Yeah? Bodhisattva Nichiren. He knows how to do it. So I will most likely refer to something from a Gosho. And I may add my own 2 cents because of my experience and the time that we live in together We have different trigger words, triggers. But we have different ways of seeing things. And so I'll do my best, yeah? Chapter 10, Teachers of the Right Dharma Law. Right away, I jump in with an annotation. With this chapter, the Lotus Sutra makes a shift from assuaging the monks of the assembly to defining the merits and commitments of the Lotus Bodhisattva as he or she propagates the right Dharma law of Myoho Renge Kyo. Now, I've said this before, but I haven't said it in a while. If you want to know what a bodhisattva is and how to be a bodhisattva, this is your manual. This is the book that if you take time to understand it, get its meaning, you will know what a bodhisattva is. Because this is it. At that time, the World Honored One addressed the 80,000 great leaders through the Bodhisattva Medicine King, saying, Medicine King, do you see in this assembly innumerable universal realms of influence, the 3,000 realms, dragon kings, yakshas, gandharvas, ashuras, garudas, kimnaras, mahara? Here we go again, right? These are all personages, personality types, characteristics of human behavior, right? They're not actual serpent kings running around in the assembly. The 3,000 realms aren't seated at the third row on the left. These are aspects of our minds, our sentience, the way we understand, the way we express, the way we behave, the causes we make, right? Thought, speech, body. Some of you learn thought, word, deed. Same thing. Right? All of those have personalities, characteristics, tendencies, and conditions. That's all those words mean. You can look some of them up in Buddhism reference. Human and non-human beings, as well as bhikshus, bhikshunis, male and female lay devotees, upasakas and upasikas, seekers after shravakaship, seekers after prachaka Buddhahood, seekers after bodhisattvaship, and seekers after Buddhahood, which is what we all should be, right? Aspiring to Buddhahood. All such beings as these, in the presence of the Buddha, if they hear a single verse or a single word of the wonderful Lotus Law Flower Dharma Sutra, the Right Dharma Law, and even by a single thought, delight in it, I predict that they will all attain perfect enlightenment. Now, okay, end of story. Didn't he just say, he just wrapped it up, didn't he? Okay, I told the disciples, I told the Arhats, I told Shariputra, I told these people, I told those people. Enough with the predictions. If you take this practice on, speaking to all of the assembly, whether you're a cloudburst god or a dragon or a human or a non-human, any sentient living being, this is your template. As a bodhisattva wanting to communicate with others what Buddhism is, all such beings as these, in the presence of the Buddha, and this means primary task for you as a bodhisattva, open your Buddha eye. Because what has to drive you isn't your particular reading skills, your intelligence, your memorization of all the sutras and all of the stuff that you've accomplished. You have to let Buddha speak through you. How do you do that? Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, there's Buddha. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, there's Buddha. get some daimoku under your belt, open your gohonzon mind, let Buddha flourish in your sentient mind, and with that, then approach others. And if they hear a single verse, I don't know, like Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, or more accurately, Myoho Renge Kyo, but with Nichiren's insight, we understand that knowing the title is one thing. Knowing what the title means is another. And in order to understand what it means, you need to be focused and dedicated. Namu Myoho Renge Kyo. Now they're making an exhortation toward their own enlightenment. You give somebody that of the wonderful law, Lotus Law, Flower Dharma Sutra, and even a single thought when they hear it, wow, that's cool. They delight in it. So if you're not in the right life condition, you say, just chant Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. You're going to have odd feelings. Didn't you just have odd feelings when you heard that? But if you look them sincerely in the eye, you say, Namu, repeat after me, Namu, that's good. Myoho Renge Kyo. Yeah, see, it's easy. Now you just repeat that with a rhythm, and you're retraining your brain to enlightenment. The enlightenment you already have in you. You have the capacity to do this. But this is a formula, if you will, to awaken that sleeping Buddha in the back of your mind that we get lazy and we never use. You can awaken it yourself. And the world will start changing for you. It's amazing how this works. Right? Maybe that works for you, maybe it doesn't. So do it your own way, but with Buddha mind, with the mind of compassion, with the mind of this is so valuable. You share this phrase so that when they hear it, they go, wow, this is something. This is something I've not heard. This is something new. That sparks in them aspiration. Even if it's just to pronounce it correctly, it's aspiration. You see? The Buddha again addressed Medicine King. Moreover, after the extinction of the Tathagata, if there be any people who hear even a single verse or a single word of the wonderful Lotus Law Flower Sutra, and by a single thought delight in it, just for a moment, right? I also predict for them perfect and complete enlightenment. Anuttara Samyak Sambodhaya. Wow, no wonder Nichiren says this is the essential phrase, the essential practice, right? He has a gosho called the essential phrase. You can read that if you want more evidence. And he'll quote what I just read. Again, let there be any who receive and keep, read and recite, expound and copy even a single verse of the wonderful Lotus Law Flower Dharma Sutra, and look upon this sutra with reverence as if it were the Buddha himself or herself, and make offerings to it in various ways with flowers, perfumes, garlands, sandal powder. This is what we do, right? We set up a stupa, Butsudan. We enshrine the mandala Nichiren's given us to focus in on our Gohonzon mind. And we offer incense, water, light, music, as well as revere it with folded hands. Remember, we don't pray. We manifest, we instantiate. So we instantiate. We put our palms together and we fold our hands. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Just as Shakyamuni instructed. No, Medicine King, These people have already paid homage to 10 myriad kotas of Buddhas, and under the Buddhas performed their great vows. Therefore, out of compassion for all living beings, they are born here among men. What does he mean when he says that? He's talking about past lives? No. That when we chant Namu Myoho Renge Kyo, a single phrase of this teaching, we have performed a great vow. Namu, I vow. I am present and ready to absorb the teachings of the Dharma. Buddha, by so doing, invoking Buddha in our own minds. We've taken the vow in each daimoku to open our Buddha eye. Here I am again. This reference to already paid homage to 10 myriad kotas of Buddhas is an oft-repeated form of indicating the influence of the universal Buddha, Tathagata, throughout time or timelessness, leading to the manifestation of mankind as a pre-existing component of the human mind, the innate and inherent Buddha. Nichiren combines this with the ongoing 3,000 realms of influence in our momentum to construct Ichinen Sanzen, a term you may have been confused about, yeah? Medicine King, he continues, if there be any people who ask you what sort of living beings will become Buddhas in the future worlds, you should show them that those are the people who will certainly become Buddhas in future worlds. They are answering their own question, in other words. You are. For what reason? If my good sons and good daughters receive and keep, read, recite, copy, expound even a single word of the Law Flower Dharma Sutra, and make offerings to it in various ways with flowers, perfumes, garlands, sandal powder, fragrance, on and on and on, with folded hands, revere it, these people will be looked up to by all the worlds, and as you pay homage to Tathagatas, so should you pay homage to them. So yeah, learning Gongyo is a very important thing. Study is a very important thing. All of these aspects of Buddhism, even watching videos, it's very important for us to sort out our insights and our aspirations to keep our aspirations alive toward Buddhahood. However, if all you can accomplish in your lifetime is the daimoku, write it down, keep it, enshrine it, like it is in the middle of the mandala, pay homage to it, continuously introduce others to it, enjoy it, copy it, cause others to copy it, offer incense, that's the essential practice. That will get you there. Will it get you there as quickly? Will it satisfy your sentient mind? That's the hat trick. For some, it may. For some, it may be all they require in order to be enthralled with chanting the daimoku, visualizing Buddhahood, opening their minds. Don't be jealous. For people like me, sorry, I get bored. Oh, all this time I've had the mic pointed over there. I hope you could hear me okay. Sorry about that. I was trying to get another camera working in here and I just wasn't working out. There's too many settings on these cameras. You remember when I was a kid, you pressed the button, you took a picture. Now there's 48 menus and I just couldn't get it to work. So I'll do a PowerPoint. Anyway, I hope you could hear all that okay. Sorry. But as I was saying, for people like myself, I easily get bored and I need inspiration. And so for me, study is a great source of information because as soon as I read a paragraph, look at what I'm doing right now. Man, that makes me think this. That makes me think, oh, I've read that 100 times, but today it really struck a nerve somewhere. And I'm thinking this now. And that's the activity that keeps my samsaric mind over there while my Buddha mind, my Bodhisattva mind, gets excited, wants to keep and receive and hold and embrace and enjoy and feel the, what's the word he used? Keep, receive, expound. Use a word, what was it? It wasn't joy, it was delight. Yeah. Study feels delightful to me, and it keeps me focused. So that's what I need. I need to learn Gongyo like it's actually supposed to be pronounced, to chant it clearly, to chant it with the rest of my mind, feeling Buddha opening up, crunching my skull open, and making enlightenment occur now. I need to feel that. Does that make me a basket case? I don't know. Maybe you're like me, maybe you're not. What I'm saying is, don't judge other people's practice and insight based on your journey. Their path will be their path. The best thing you can do is swat misinformation and roadblocks out of their way, as well as your own. And if you're like me, you're going to see a lot of them. And you can sweep a lot of them out of the way before they ever encounter them. And maybe they never will. But you'll be aware. This is what will give you the ability to develop skillful means, expedient devices, know other people, watch, be a good people watcher. Absorb what makes them feel complete, if they have anything that does, not just their joys and happiness. That's samsaric. I'm talking about the things that they're even surprised makes them feel more whole. They may not even see it, but it's up to you to see it, because then you'll know how to present information to them that will keep them excited, keep them delighted, even if all they do is chant well. Slow down, savor it, right? I've shocked a lot of people saying that. Slow down, yeah. Actually visualize what you're saying and chanting with every syllable, every beat. Have an expectation of enlightenment. That's why we put our hands together and fold our hands. Yeah? Again, he says, let there be any who receive, keep, read, recite, expound, copy even a single verse of the wonderful Lotus Law Flower Dharma Sutra, and look upon this sutra with reverence as if it were the Buddha himself, and make offerings to it in various ways with flowers, perfumes, garlands, sandalwood, so on and so forth, as well as revere it with folded hands. What I just said. A real commitment. No, but Medicine King, these people have already paid homage, and I already read that. If there are any people who ask you what sort of living beings will become Buddhas, they are the sort of living beings who will become Buddhas. And also pay homage to them. We should be very profoundly thankful for those who we influence practicing, because we're expanding our lives with theirs. That's an aspect of nirvana people dearly miss. We tend to think self, self, self. We tend to think nirvana, calmness, equanimity is all about me, 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 but it's not. And you'll see this in the PowerPoint I make on nirvana. I'm not going to give it away. Ha ha, tease. No, these people are great bodhisattvas who, having accomplished perfect enlightenment and out of compassion for all living beings, are willingly born in this world and widely proclaimed and expound the wonderful Law Flower Dharma Sutra. Did you hear that? I'm going to read that again, and I have an annotation after it to make sure you get it. No, exclamation part, K-N-O-W, exclamation part. No, these people, the people you teach even one phrase of the Lotus Sutra, and who embrace it, read, recite, so on and so forth, are, not will be, are great bodhisattvas who, having accomplished perfect enlightenment, what? They've already accomplished it? And out of compassion for all other living beings, are willingly born in this world and widely proclaim and expound the wonderful Law Flower Dharma Sutra. What? What does that mean? What? This statement echoes the vow made later in this sutra, taken by the future bodhisattvas who will spring up from beneath the earth. This is very circular, this teaching. What he's saying is that you and I are all bodhisattvas from beneath the earth. If you understand that the capacity for opening your Buddha eye is because a Buddha already is here, what you're doing is, waking up your Buddha access, mind, whatever you want to call it, Buddha-ness, then aren't you already a bodhisattva? If you're already you have the built-in capacity for Buddha-ness, doesn't all the other levels of learning and practice also come with that? Right? We lose track of that with all these fancy stories, but you are a bodhisattva of the earth. You just have to wake up your Buddha mind. Yeah? Wake it up. And that's all you have to do to help your friends. How much more those who are perfectly able to receive, keep, and in every way pay homage to it. No, Medicine King, these people will of themselves abandon the recompense of their purified karma, and after my extinction, out of pity for all living beings, will be born in the deluded and malicious world and widely proclaim this sutra. What's he talking about? He's talking about Mappo. He's going to reinvestigate this. He's already telling them. He hasn't gotten to the part where bodhisattvas spring forth from beneath the earth, but this is a prelude to it, right? He's talking about it like Medicine King already knows. He's just going to talk about it in a different way in that following chapter. Not the next chapter, but a few chapters from now, yeah? If these good sons and daughters after my extinction should be able, even by stealth, to teach to one person even one word of the Law Flower Sutra, no, these people are Tathagata apostles. Apostles. Religious term. Sent by the Tathagata to perform Tathagata deeds. How much more so those who in great assemblies widely teach to others. Now tie this in, and maybe I should make a note here. Tathagata is the Buddha-ness of the cosmos, of the universe. The very fact that the universe exists incorporates the engine of life. It is an expression of the engine of life. It's an expression of Buddha. And when that expression of Buddha takes the form of a human, we call her a Buddha. But now what he's saying is, yeah, Buddha is a human instantiation or expression of Tathagata, but it's not a special human. It's any sentient mind has this ability if you simply awaken it. He's the example, the prime example, Shakyamuni, a dude, Siddhartha, Gautama, born of extreme privilege, is so affected by what he sees on the other side of the fence where it ain't no greener. And he's shocked. He says, people shouldn't have to live like this. I don't care what your situation, you shouldn't have to suffer like this. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. And he spends, by different accounts, 6 years, 7 years, 12 years, many years on his own, by several accounts, and encounters this renge, this aha moment. Oh. It's all about attitude and intent. Oh, yeah, right, thanks. Been waiting 12 years to hear that. Pfft, right? He couldn't talk about it that way. He had to develop insights in people's minds, inspire them to aspire to something more profound. All right, I think I'll stop here. I love this statement. If these good sons and daughters after my extinction should be able, even in stealth, even if you got to be... I had a friend from Greece, and he said, a lot of Buddhists there, I don't know if it's still this way, but they have to practice in secret because it's actually illegal, or it was at the time, to practice something other than the national religion. It's incredible, isn't it? You wouldn't think it was a theocracy, but really, almost every country is. Or at least theocracy is what's used to control people. I've always said those books like the Bible, the Quran, and all these miscellaneous... anyway, I don't need to list them. They're all books of governance, how to control people and get them to do what you want. Buddhism is not like that. Buddhism is about getting people to do what they want. That's not a religion. That's just inspirational. Aspire to be more than you know you can be. Be all of your potential. Really? There's more? Oh, yeah, lots more. Wow, what's that look like? That's Buddhism. I thank you again for indulging me. Please check out threefoldlotus.com as I keep adding links to it. Make requests or statements in the comments or in emails that let me know. Here's something I've always wrestled with approaching other people, or not strangers, but make friends of people and expose them to their ability to enlightenment. Everybody has it. Help give them confidence to look for it, instantiate it, make it happen. Just one phrase, right? All right. Thanks for your support. Like and subscribe. It's a Bodhisattva act because it helps the algorithms present this resource to more folks. Lots of links in the description. Take you to the podcast, also free, the website, bookstore, mandala store, so on. In the meantime, keep your practice strong, savor it. So take care of your health, all right? And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.